Moving on here, staying in the SEC, 7:30 p.m. kickoff on SEC Network. Ole Miss minus 2.5 on the road at Texas A&M. Total of 55 here. Always get our interest peaked a little bit when we see a home dog, but you're going right back to the well with Ole Miss after they just completely gave you a shellacking in the second half in the fourth quarter last week.
I am. I like Ole Miss minus 2.5. The report is that Haynes King should be available for Texas A&M, which is great because Max Johnson went down with a broken finger, broken hand, some broken bone in his upper body last week. Anais Smith, we know, has been out. He's out for the season. And then a report came out that they suspended 3 freshmen for violating team protocols. I'm not sure the 100% the details on it. But this is now the second time that Texas A&M has had to suspend players on their team for acting like idiots. And that, to me, is like, Coach Jimbo Fisher, get your stuff together, man. Get your players together. I don't like teams that have culture issues. And I know this isn't numbers, and I know this isn't metrics, but like, when I see a team with a culture issue, I cannot wait to fade them. And that's exactly what I'm doing here. But there's more reasons here. So in a preview magazine, the Athlon Sports Preview magazine, they talked to opposing coaches and they gave quotes on all teams. And this was Texas A&M's quote. And I'm reading a quote here. Their rep is that once they lose that one big game, they're not the same. When it's not all on the line, you don't really ever get their best. And we saw that when they went into Williams-Brice Stadium and got their butts kicked because they lost that game to Alabama. That's their one big game that they didn't win. And now I don't think this team's playing all that hard. Now, Texas A&M, now we'll get into some numbers here. I know that this has been narrative-driven this whole time. Now, some numbers here. Texas A&M, 10 straight games where they haven't scored 25 points against FBS teams. That's disgusting. I hate this offense so much. It's so bad because they have all this talent. They should be able to. Zach Evans also didn't play against LSU. He was a late scratch. I handicapped him into the game and Ole Miss's ability to run the football. And they were able to in the first half because they jumped out to a big lead. They were up 14-3 at the end of the first quarter, and then they let that get away. They didn't score a single point in the second half. First half, 7.7 yards per play. Second half, 3.3 yards per play against LSU. So this was a team that got up big. They tried to run the football. They didn't have Zach Evans. They didn't do it very well. And then LSU just kind of took the game away from them at home. I don't think that's going to happen again. This is a tough road spot for Ole Miss to go to LSU and walk into Kyle Field, but Ole Miss is still the better football team. I know I said this last week, but Ole Miss is still the better football team. They let one get away from them last week. Ole Miss wasn't going 12-0. I think that they get back on the horse. They're facing a team that has visibly, I don't know if given up is the right word, but they're not playing as hard as they can. They're not playing to their potential. They have issues in the locker room. I can't see how Texas A&M wins this. I
have a comp for you. I want to get your reaction. Texas A&M is the Dallas Cowboys of college football. Completely undisciplined, makes mistakes on and off the field, and has a coach whose name suggests he is better than he actually is.
Yes. Yeah, I saw an interesting thing about Jimbo Fisher. Undefeated in the ACC, I think it was 14-0, 16-0 under Jameis Winston. And this is back at Florida State. He was only 14-10 against ACC opponents without Jameis Winston.
Oof. Yeah, guys, that's not good.
He's a great recruiter.
Yeah.
He's not a good coach.
All right.
He has a worse record than Kevin Sumlin, who they fired at this point. He has a worse record at this point through this many games than Kevin Sumlin. They kicked Kevin Sumlin to the curb and said, "Get out of town. We hate you." Jimbo Fisher has a worse record, guys. And you're paying this man $100 million.
Is he going to get a bag of money to not coach there anymore? Holy crap.
I can't imagine it. No, I don't think so, because the Texas schools, they're all like this. UT's like this. Texas A&M's like this. The boosters run the show. It's not the AD. It's the boosters. The boosters love Jimbo Fisher. He keeps them in the news. He's a very true Southern Texas feel culture guy. Great recruiter. Excellent for the brand. Excellent for money. Can't win a thing on the football field. I don't think the boosters care. They're going to keep him there forever. He's going to coach Texas A&M for 35 years, and they're never going to win more than 9 games.
And they're going to lose a lot of games. Yeah, they're going to lose. They're going to lose big game after big game. Oh, man.
They are. Texas A&M, I'm sorry to any fans that are out there that are probably screaming, like, this guy doesn't know. Texas A&M cares more about their brand and what they look like than actually winning football games. And that's why I'm picking Ole Miss, a good team, to go in there and beat them by a field goal or more.